Okay, Shannon, you can put us on. Okay, this is the matter of Shotwell versus Lane. Ms. Shotwell, I have the file in front of me, but it does not show that Mr. Lane has been served with notice of this hearing today. Did you take care of that? Your microphone is muted. You need to unmute it.
I attempted to. I don't have an address for him. I contacted family members. I talked to someone he used to work for, and I contacted a storage facility that I believe he was keeping things at, and I know he is aware of it because since I filed the PPO with the court, he's come by my house twice since then, and on one of the most recent occasions, a police officer pulled him aside in his vehicle and spoke to him and told him that I had filed a PPO. So I think he's actually avoiding being served.
Do you know anything about where he lives? What community?
I don't. The last I have not had contact with him since he moved out. Well, yeah.
And that was, I think your petition said it was 4 years ago?
No, 4 years ago, I asked him to move out and he refused. It's taken me 4 years to get him off my property. The last I talked to him was in November, and he told me he was sleeping in his van, and he hasn't given an address to anyone in his family. I believe he has mental health issues. The reason I broke up with him is because he refused to get help.
Well, ma'am, I denied this on an ex parte basis because I take this obligation that I have very seriously. Issuing a judicial order against someone who is not present, who's not received notice, who doesn't have the opportunity to appear and defend himself, I take that very, very seriously. The judicial process normally requires both parties to be present so that I get to hear from both parties. I realize that PPOs serve a very valid purpose. And when I believe genuinely that there is a immediate fear of physical harm if I don't issue a PPO, then I will issue one on an ex parte basis. Ex parte just basically means without the other party knowing or having an opportunity to be heard. There wasn't anything in your petition that suggested immediate or irreparable physical harm. So even though the kind of behavior would fall within the reasons that I would grant a PPO, they don't fall within the reasons for why I would grant a PPO without notice to the other party. And you're verifying to me today that Mr. Lane has not received notice of this proceeding. In order to get notice, he has to be served. The other thing we can do that's a possibility is we can publish a notice, but publication requires a certain amount of time between when it's published and when the hearing actually takes place. I think it's a minimum of 14 days. Typically, publication occurs with the Jackson Legal News. Um, I realize it's not uh, particularly effective at getting the attention of people, but a lot of times what happens, people that regularly read the news, if they see a name they recognize, they'll get a hold of that person and, hey, somebody's suing you. So at least there's some satisfaction of the obligation to give notice before I take action against someone. Um, I am still of the same belief. He has a right to be heard. So we need to figure out a way to notify him of the proceeding so he has a chance to participate.
I fully understand what you're saying, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I know this person, and I believe he's actively avoiding notification in order to frustrate my attempts at exercising my legal right to have him actually out of my life.
His last legal place of residence was in your home, correct?
Correct.
All right. And since you booted him out of your home, you don't really know where he's staying.
I do not. I do not.
Does he have a job?
He does not. Not that I'm aware of.
Well, give me a moment and let me see what the specific rules that allow for publication. I don't know if there are any modifications for the PPO process, so I want to look there first. Normally, alternate service is accomplished by some form of publication and mailing to a last known address. That's not going to work because that's your place, so that's not going to get him any kind of notice. So hold on a second while I look this up.
Thank you.
Does he have any relatives in the area?
No, his relatives live in like Rochester Hills.
Do they have anything to do with him?
Yes, and I reached out to his oldest brother, but he basically told his brother that he would be avoiding me so that I couldn't get a PPO. He also, the last time he drove by my house and the police came out, he drove by while they were speaking with me, and an officer followed him and pulled him aside and informed him that I'd filed for a PPO, and told him that, informed him I didn't want him on my property, but they couldn't trespass him because he has not changed my address off of his driver's license, and he was also still getting mail at my house. So I stopped mail service, and his brother told him that I was stopping mail service. He's just he's not well.
All right, well, there aren't any special rules, so service by publication, um, I will permit the, you'll need to contact the Jackson County Legal News to find out how you can get a notice published. What I'm going to do is issue you a new, well, let's see. With the information that you got to start the PPO process, there was a notice of hearing on petition for personal protection order that you completed. Let me give you a new date. I'm going to put that out a little ways so there's time for him to get the notice. So give me just a moment. I'm going to set it for February 4th at 10 a.m. So the form that you're going to need is, I'll hold it up so you can see it. This is the one that brought us here today.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that?
I do.
All right, just get a blank one and fill it out with the case information. And you're going to have to write in the date, February 4th, 21, 10 a.m. via Zoom. And then you sign that. And then you take it to the Jackson County Legal News, which you may be able to submit electronically. They'll tell you how to do that. And then they will produce a proof of service, basically a proof of publication showing when it was published. And then what you would do is once you get that proof of publication, you file that with the court and make sure that it's here before February 4th. And on February 4th, whether he shows up or not, I will address the merits of your petition. How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate you working with me.
So, Ms. Shotwell, if between now and when that happens, if he does act out against you with some kind of violence, you can start all over with a new petition. And if there is an actual threat of violence, a serious threat, didn't sound like he's been violent with you in the past, just abusive and emotional, but not physically violent. You can start with a new PPO, and I will certainly, if it has the right information in it, would consider granting that without notice to him.
Okay, I did file for a PPO in February of last year, but the court date was March 21st.
And things were closed down.
Yeah, and in the span of time between the closure and my new court date, the police had been called to my house because he was getting physically aggressive. And he agreed to move out. And honestly, things were more amicable between us throughout the summer. But then once I actually made him, I think he thought that he was going to repair things. And once I actually made him leave, he started, he just started making threats, and I feel stalking me. But now that I'm calling the police every time I see him, he's not on my block. I see him when I leave on Franklin Street. The police, every time they come out, they just tell me they can't do anything without a PPO. That's all. I need him to know that he can't come back into my life, and he's not respecting that wish by me saying it myself.
All right, well, ma'am, follow through on everything I've told you, and if you get that done, when we come back on February 4th, I'll address the merits of your petition.
Okay.
Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get Mr. Warner brought in. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Motion 931.
Hi, this is Judge LaFlamme. Can you bring Devin Warner into my Zoom room, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Could you make sure he's got a copy of the probable cause sheet? Do you have that?
I'll have to look, sir.
All right, it was in an email that was sent to me. We could forward that directly to you if that would help.
Yeah, that works, sir.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
M as in Morgan, West at mijackson.org.
All right, Shannon, you got a copy of that probable cause thing that we got? Can you forward that to her, please? West, yeah.
Yep.
All right, it's on its way.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, how was your class this morning, Peter?
Good.
Did you learn anything?
Oh, I learned lots. Always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secured transactions?
Yeah, that's right. So, a lot of Article 9.
Yeah.
How have things been going here?
It's been a very atypical Thursday morning.
Really?
I had one matter still on the docket for 8:30 when I got here, and they said thought they could work it out, and just wanted to know if they could renotice their motion if they were unsuccessful, which
Okay.
of course I encouraged.
Yep.
The other one had already gone away by stipulation. Then I had two pretrials that I did in chambers. And then I just had a motion hearing to issue a PPO, but the respondent hadn't been served, so I couldn't do much with that.
Are you waiting on something right now?
I'm waiting for, we've got a PPO arraignment, a guy that got arrested for violating a PPO. And we're waiting for him to be brought into the meeting room, but for whatever reason, when they tell me they're gonna bring somebody in, and I ask them to make sure he gets the probable cause information, they never get it. So every time I ask, they say, no, I don't have it. So then I got to go through and read it on the record.
Hey,
So,
Judge, can you give me that file number real quick, please?
yes,
I thought
it's
I wrote it down.
20647. Yeah, and here we go. So this time, when I called booking, I got her email address.
Sent it over.
Yep.
And on the PPO, are you gonna have Dawn send out the notice for February? Or am I gonna send that out? For the one prior?
Oh, you can put it on.
All right, right up here.
I already told her the notice, so that's fine. Just put it on the record. She knows the date and she's doing the proof of service on him. Okay, you are Devin Michael Warner.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Warner, were you given a copy of the information that describes what it is that you're accused of doing that's in violation of your personal protection order?
I do not remember receiving the document.
You would have just gotten it within the last few minutes, so you haven't gotten that?
Oh yeah, I got the sheet I'm supposed to be looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, it says at the top, probable cause, supplemental information.
Yeah, it says charges requested, PPO violation.
All right. Look at there should be a page. Were you given multiple pages or just a single page?
Single page, sir.
Okay, that's it. That's it. You're able to read that?
Yeah.
You understand what it is that you've been accused of doing?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Warner, you do have the right to contest this charge at a contempt hearing. At that contempt hearing, you have the right to be represented by counsel, an attorney, either one of your choosing or one appointed for you by the court, if you cannot afford one. At that hearing, you will have the right to question witnesses who are called against you, the right to testify on your own behalf if you choose, or not have it held against you if you choose not to testify. You also have the right to have the court subpoena any witnesses that you believe would testify in your favor. The penalty for violation of a PPO is up to a maximum of 93 days in jail and up to a maximum fine of $500. Would you like the court to appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we will do that.
Okay, so there's no confusion. Is something going to be sent over to the jail, or is that just going to be filled out right now on the record?
For the attorney appointment, yeah, we know that sending it over is not going to work. So would you give me the information sheet so I can fill it out for Mr. Warner? All right, I'm going to fill this form out for you, sir. In just a moment, I'll have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Date of birth is 1/1/2000.
Yes, Your Honor. May I ask a question, Your Honor?
Sure, go ahead.
Is there any way I could go about doing fines or something so I don't lose my job today?
I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Let me finish. Whether or not I release you or under what conditions we will discuss before we finish the hearing.
Thank you, sir.
Your address is 112 Seymour Ave, Apartment C.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your telephone number?
517-740-8319.
And you are employed?
Yes, sir.
Who's your employer?
Elm plating.
How long have you been there?
Probably almost 2 months now. Sorry, someone's knocking on the door.
They're trying to get your attention?
No.
Oh, okay. What, what's your average pay?
I make 400 typically a week.
How much do you pay in rent?
$495 a month, sir.
Do you pay any child support?
No, I got a phone bill and car insurance.
Okay. And no other source of income?
No.
Do you have an automobile?
Yes, sir.
What's the year and make of that vehicle?
It's a 2002 Ford. It's like a truck.
Do you make payments on that?
I bought it from my grandma. It's been in the family a while, so I just pay for the insurance at this point.
Okay. Do you have any dependents that live with you?
Yes. Not really. I guess she works too. It's my girlfriend, but
All right, but no children?
no.
Okay. Okay, so we'll make sure we get an attorney appointed for you. There will be a hearing on the violation. Your attorney will be present for that. Assuming you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, they'll let you know of that for sure. And Ms. Michelle Mary will be represented by someone from the prosecuting attorney's office. So give me
Okay.
just a moment to look at this. Okay, I see what you've been accused of doing, is that's being in Ms. Mary's presence, which the PPO prohibits. I don't see that there's any suggestion that she was a involuntary participant in that proceeding, in that meeting. I'm going to release you on your personal recognizance so that you can go to work. We're going to schedule this matter for a hearing in front of me on February 4th at 10:30.
Okay.
And we will make sure whatever needs to get to the jail to get you released today gets sent over there promptly. You have any other questions of me?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
I will tell you, stay far away from Ms. Mary, even if she wants to see you. You see what happens. You see what happens if you get found in her presence. I'm sure you don't want that to happen again.
No, I appreciate your leniency too.
Okay, we'll get that processed. I don't know how long it's going to take them to let you go, but we will get something over to them right away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That concludes our hearing.